over there. What up, Instagram?
Instagram gets a VIP preview before anything happens.
That's true. That's how much we love you guys. Someone already asked if we're going to do a giveaway, and I guess you'll just have to stay tuned and find out.
We haven't even said anything yet. Do you want to give away already?
No, I said, well, we don't know yet. I can tell them to go somewhere. All right. Let's get this going. Screw it up. Okay. What up, guys? Welcome back to K-Swiss Live, where Barney and I let you guys know what's going on in K-Swiss culture, our culture, and we talk about things that are really important to us and K-Swiss. And the last few episodes have been really amazing. We've talked about how to level up at life, how to improve partnerships. Last week we talked about Talk Like Ted, and then this week we're going to talk a little bit about Breaking Bad, Willy Chavarria, and Barney's got some business tips for you guys.
All right, good. And to be honest, I don't know what the tips are about yet, so that'll be fun. We're going to do that on the fly. But yes, welcome to our humble offices. And firstly, you can see some great shoes on the table. Do you want to start there?
Yeah, today.
Launched today.
Yep, we just launched the Breaking Bad cooking and cleaning sneaker, which we've talked about briefly. We haven't teased it too much. We've actually already sold over half the stock online, which is really
just launched
cool.
Today, so the sizes are selling out. There is stuff on Foot Action and Foot Locker. But yeah, if anyone who's fans of the Breaking Bad series, first of all, the reason we did this, the timing-wise, is that it's to celebrate the El Camino movie, which came out. So we dropped the RV sneaker to celebrate the El Camino movie, which came out just before the holidays.
Yep.
And then that El Camino movie just released on I think it's the AMC channel.
Yep.
Which is to coincide with the timing of this second drop. So there is some rationale behind the timing of doing this. And, you know, what better than this iconic Tyvek yellow cooking suit that they were cooking up the meth in the RV. Really cool, designed by John Tang. I think he crushed it with this Tyvek over covering, like the suit they wore in the movie. Breaking Bad in the sock liner, not sure if you can see that. And Heisenberg in the translucent see-through rubber bottom. Very cool, little Breaking Bad symbol. This little hang tag off the heel is actually designed to look like the mask component in plastic, the covering of the mask filter. You can see it here, so that's where that's from, in case anyone was wondering.
I was trying to get Barney to put it on, but he's not going to do it, so
yeah.
Let me show you guys what
All right, so and this mask is from a seeding package we put together and sent out to various people. Actually, Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, got his package and has already posted pictures of himself.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty cool. I saw them today. I'll be posting them on our social channels because it was cool to see the creator actually not only like post about the shoes, but wearing them and go out and do something like that.
So the mask isn't part of the set. It is just part of the seeding package. I don't know if you could see this with the logo on the mask. And so that went out to some VIPs. You never know, there may be one or two of them around the office if you're lucky. And the cooking and cleaning, great looking shoes. And actually the press on this has been really good. I don't know if you've been following it today, but it was on Hypebeast, LA Times, all sorts of places covered this.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see it on LA Times. I was stoked to see it obviously on Hypebeast, but LA Times was kind of crazy.
Let's talk about the ring real quick, because I just noticed that. That's actually really cool. Where's that from?
So the ring, the story behind it is I have a couple neighbors that are entrepreneurs. They just started an apparel line. It's called Palma, and it's in Mexico. And as a thank you, because I designed their logo, they gave me this ring.
Moonlighting.
So, it's cool.
Are you allowed to do that? Get another job on the side?
Nah. But I just thought it was like a cool,
Santi's
like,
behind the camera. Where's my ring? Yeah, no, I love it. It looks really cool.
Thank you.
The other thing we wanted to talk about real quick is the collaboration with Willy Chavarria. It was a lot of apparel pieces that you may have seen, but there was also a shoe, and I just love this thing. It's designed to have this foam kind of bursting out from behind the stripes and from the inside, and the actual foam starts out white, and as it ages it starts to yellow. So the shoe actually evolves over time, and it's got these amazing studded rings, for lace rings on it as well. I don't know if you can see that, but really cool with his logo on the tongue. And Willy's a American designer from Southern California, spent some of his time in Copenhagen. Check it out. These are sold in Sneakers and Stuff in New York, in Dover Street, Ginza in Japan, LNCC in London, and a couple other boutiques. So pretty limited and like super creative, really cool. That just came out. So anyway, that's kind of what we got in terms of new stuff. So it's been a busy week. Breaking Bad just launched today, and so we've kind of been buzzing around that all day, right? With getting the e-com site up and running, the press that's been rolling in, the seeding packages out, and monitoring socials. But the feedback's been pretty good, right?
Yeah, the feedback's been pretty amazing. And for the listeners, and especially Instagram Live, we have a giveaway that we are running right now. If you go on K-Swiss's Instagram or Twitter, you'll see all the details. But you can basically enter for a chance to win the cooking and cleaning sneakers, the mask, and the suit.
Is there a way to win them, or can I come up with a way?
There is a way to win them.
Okay. Is it official or?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an official giveaway that Omar's doing. Where will they find out about that?
Instagram. Yeah. So
on
just
Instagram,
go, literally,
you'll
see it says giveaway.
But these are available now. They launched today on K-Swiss, Foot Action, Foot Locker. We do have maybe one of these we can give away.
We'll have to talk to Jeff. I
maybe we don't
know.
But I have a question. I'll give you something, but I've got a question which is for the real heads who know the sneaker game and have been around for a while, because there's a shoe in the past that this reminds me of in terms of its kind of construction and design. And do you know it? Don't say it.
I won't say I have a pair, or had a pair.
You sure? All right. Anyway, it's a sneaker brand. It was a small sneaker brand. I'm not even sure it's around anymore. They did a shoe, and it was also based off a movie, a character in a movie.
Okay,
that's another tip. If you can name the brand that made a shoe that this is reminding me of, we'll send you something, because you've got to be kind of in the know to know what that is and to remember. But it has a wrap over a sneaker, I think maybe with a zip or with a drawstring, and it was based off a movie character. Only heads will know. No, it's not Nike. None of the main brands that you'd think of.
Barney, what do you have on the desk?
I actually have an article here about from GQ. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. This is actually about the rise of the Instagram curator, and it's about actually Little Jupiter is mentioned in there, and our collaboration with Little Jupiter. I just thought it was really interesting how we were on this early, and it's fascinating. Actually, I would talk more about it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay. I mean, the Instagram curation is something that's so interesting to me, when, especially now meeting Little Jupiter, it's like a modern Tumblr. Yeah,
it really is, and it's funny because Gary V's been talking about Instagram recently, saying everyone's getting too fancy and using it like an art gallery, and to be honest, that's what I think's good about it. Personally, that's what I love. And so, but Gary's in that zone of promotion, branding, marketing, and as a tool for that, it's maybe changing. But I think for my personal enjoyment, I still love it. But what I think is that TikTok and Snapchat are making Instagram look like Facebook. In other words, the reason I like Instagram is because I'm old and frumpy, and that's why everyone left Facebook. And so maybe now it's
I don't know about frumpy.
You leave Instagram because your mum's on it. So all the kids are off on TikTok. Certainly mine are. So it's just interesting how I think obviously these social channels evolve and switch. And we were talking about investing actually, Santi and I, and just talking about how some of these social platforms are good short-term investments, but long-term it's such a gamble because they keep changing and shifting, and that's the nature of the beast, and that's what makes marketing fun, to be honest, is continuing to follow, preempt, and you've got to be on top of these things.
Do you have stock in any of the social media platforms?
No, I don't.
I sold all my I won't even say which one, but I sold it all. Anyway.
Why wouldn't you say which one? Oh, because you sold
Snapchat.
it.
I mean, I just decided to sell all the Snapchat
why?
stuff. I just had it for a year, and I didn't really see any movement, and I would rather invest it in a different company like Tesla.
Okay.
So I just took that money and decided to go there.
Well, maybe somebody got lucky and got Sport Tesla at 221. Yes, I did. So, and I think there's upside on that still. Anyway, we're not stock tippers, and definitely not stock tippers.
No. Last week, though, we briefly talked about Thomas Mott, an entrepreneur that came to visit the office, and we were talking about TikTok, and you actually went and spoke at the event. So the interview's already live. What is it? It's called Stacking Growth, or Growth Stacking. But there's some things I got from there. I know you had some thoughts on it. I don't know if you want to talk on that.
No, I mean, Stacking Growth, it was a great little event. You know, so it's a small event put on by Thomas, and it's just fun. You know, it was really good vibes. Everyone was there to learn and build their businesses and brands. It was just a really positive thing. It was free. It was catered. There was a bar. It was pretty amazing that he's putting this thing on, and they do them in LA and New York. And I just enjoyed it. I attended, and we spoke for about an hour about the K-Swiss journey and the lessons learned along the way, and it was just a good experience. And I think I appreciated being invited, but I also, it was further validation that, and I said it at the event, like, we're not all sitting around going to batting practice. Mm-hmm. People are going to these events to network and build their businesses, and that's, a lot of the premise that we're building K-Swiss on, is that entrepreneurship is the new aspiration of youth culture.
Years ago, one of the best pieces of advice I received was, if you want to make cool shit, you got to hang out with people making cool shit. And that really stuck out to me, because I think there's a lot of people, including me, that we always want to improve and get better, but we don't look for those opportunities or the people to hang out with. And in business, if you want to improve, it's kind of mind-blowing that how many of these events, not just that one, but they're out there. There are people making these events happen, and if they're not, make it yourself.
Yeah, and it's about being around positive people, right? And as you said, and so, you have a choice of who you hang around with, and quite often the people that are closest to you will rub off on you. So be around people who are motivated, who are getting up, trying to do things, and not the ones who are dragging you down. Sometimes the homies from back in the day are the ones who resent any success you might have, and not in my case, but you see, be around positive people. And especially, I was amazed, here's 100 people on a Tuesday night gathered on their own time to listen, to learn, to share, network, and I thought, wow, what a positive environment. So, and I don't remember there being that kind of thing when I was on my way early in my career. I don't remember those same opportunities, so it's out there and everyone should take advantage.
There was something that you said that really stood out to me, and I posted it today on LinkedIn, so if anyone that follows me on LinkedIn, check it out. But you talked about participation trophies and how we need to stop giving those out.
Well, I mean, my point there was around, talent retention. Like, it's one of the keys in building a business is having great people, and to then not only have great people, to keep great people and to motivate great people. And so I think part of that discussion was that, there's also, in business, in culture in America, is everybody thinks they're have expectations of constant raises and reward that's not connected to performance, and so everybody thinks they deserve more, and quite often it's the people who are doing the least who are the ones who are most vocal about wanting more. And without any kind of understanding that, it's we should be in a pay-for-performance type of environment, And so I was just really talking about those challenges, and that we coach this into ourselves by the participation trophy, with kids and sports, and everybody wins and everybody did great even though you came 8th. So when you get into the workplace, we have that same mentality. It's like, hey, it's another year's gone by. I'm doing the same job. I'm doing it the same way, but I'm expecting
more.
And it's like, no, it doesn't really work like that. The people who are really performing don't need to ask, because they attract the progressive reward. If you're really good, you're being given it before you've asked, because it's being recognized, because the impact is felt. But I think the best businesses are pay for performance and not equitable. Everybody wins, and so that's the discussion. It caused some good dialogue.
I liked my interpretation of it was exactly what you said, and the thought was, showing up it's not just about showing up.
No, it's not just about showing up. And just a quick answer, meme lunch on here, that this is not for sale, the mask. This is a giveaway as part of a seeding package, but that you can win it if you go to K-Swiss's Instagram and enter to win. The Green Boy, I have 8 bulldogs. Thank you for the input. But we were talking about
showing up.
Just showing up, yeah. And I think that a lot of people just show up. So if you want to really make a difference and have an impact, it's not that hard to stand out. And it's by really having strong work ethic, bringing positivity and performance to the workplace. You're ahead of 80% of people just by doing that. And I'm not making that up. I've experienced this my whole career. It's not that hard to get ahead by doing that. Now, the last 5%, you're up against the people like yourself, so it gets a little harder to compete for that last 5%. But most people are just showing up and expecting, where's my reward? And so if you're one of those people that's really focused on delivering and working really hard and contributing, and there's lots of ways of doing that, you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah. The thought of showing up, so I want to focus on this, especially for the listeners or viewers. Showing up, there's 2 ways of thinking about it. One, like you said, you just show up and you just do your regular thing over and over and over. And if you expect more, don't expect more. The other side is if you kind of say showing up as a bold statement like I showed up, that's you showing up every day, getting after it on the next level. And when you show up day after day after day...
Yeah, let me put it a different way. Here's actually, it's like going to the gym. Okay, so if you go to the gym and every day you kind of get up late, you wander in there, you walk on the treadmill, you can't be bothered, you do 15 minutes, I'm not feeling great today, you lift a couple weights, and then you're like, why's my body not changing? Okay, it's the same thing. Whereas if you approach work that way, you're like, why am I not getting all the spoils and the rewards? Whereas if you go to the gym and you walk in and go, hey, I have a game plan before I walk in the door, I know what I'm trying to achieve, I have a written plan and I've got goals I've set out and I'm going to do more today than I did yesterday, and you go in and you crush it every day by being well prepared, well rested, good nutrition, you're going to see results. And it's just no different. It's this age-old idea of you get out of life what you put in. So if you put in the same thing, you're going to get out the same thing. And so, yeah, it's just we see that a lot where there's a lot of high expectations without it being a two-way street. And sometimes career progression is so simple.
You just got to do the work.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, better than every day. That was just something that really stood out to me, so thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So I think that's just an interesting point. We'll bring up some more as we go week to week. We'll talk more about the lessons from the K-Swiss journey because, we've been through a lot here. I love this expression that calm waters don't make great sailors, which means that if everything's easy, then you don't really learn much. Whereas when things are tough, you learn a ton. And I think we've got a lot of lessons from our work with K-Swiss to get this old brand back going again and creating amazing things like this and getting to a point where we're featured on and in the LA Times and on Hypebeast because of great creative projects. But it's taken us a lot of things to get there and a lot of lessons learned along the way, a lot of things that were good, a lot of things that didn't work. And so as we go through these sessions, we'll update you on what we're doing in the business, but we'll also look back and maybe talk about some of the lessons learned along the way as tips.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. We're almost at 100K, by the way, so share our profile page on Instagram.
Yes, get us...
we're so close. We're literally at about 100,000. We have 1,000 left to go.
Yeah. So everyone seems to be really into this mask. Just want to remind everyone we're a shoe company, not a mask company. But if you have any masks, I'll buy them right now because there's a global shortage of masks because of the coronavirus. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Obviously,
Amazon sold that too, right?
A lot of masks needed. So this is actually a really good one. But a lot of interest around the mask on here. So follow K-Swiss on Instagram. Omar will talk more about the mask because clearly people want it. You can win this whole package, the mask, both sets of shoes, and the cleaning suit.
Suit.
By entering to win on K-Swiss's Instagram. Yes. And I actually did do a mask giveaway shout out. So a contest, I don't know if you remember, people who join later, is if you can name the shoe that reminds me of this one in terms of the design of this wrap being over a shoe that was also based on a movie character. And it was a long time ago from a small sneaker brand. If you can name that sneaker brand, then you're a proper sneakerhead, and I'll find a mask for you. Okay, nice. Green Boy, that's how you win it.
All right, well, I think that
Kangaroo. No, Mike, it's not kangaroo. Good guess, but it was not kangaroo. Keep thinking.
All right, that is all we got for you guys. Stay tuned for more. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our podcast. Let us know what you get out of it, and we'll see you guys or chat with you next week.
Back to work.
Peace.